Now today, I'm gonna show you how to make one of my favorite celebratory desserts. It's decadent, it's rich, it's fudgy, and it's super easy to make. This is my flourless chocolate cake with mulled wine berries. How does that sound? I'm feeling pretty good about it, I'm not gonna lie. I gotta get these sleeves rolled up to make this cake though. Now, this is a really simple cake because we're actually gonna use some gadgets. Now, I'm typically not a gadget gal when it comes to the kitchen, but for this chocolate cake, it all starts in a food processor, which is very strange. You thought I was gonna say the stand mixer. No. We're starting in the food processor. Now, if you don't have a food processor, that's okay. You can even do this in a blender. It would work perfectly. But this is a way to get all of the mixture kind of nice and combined, the chocolate nice and finely ground. It does all the work for you, and it's gonna be a cinch. So into the bowl of my food processor, I'm going in with 1 cup of sugar. So add in that cup of sugar. And this is kind of the base of the cake. Since this is a flourless chocolate cake, there needs to be some structure, and that sugar kind of helps build almost like a caramelly structure with the chocolate, giving you that kind of honeycomb fudgy situation that you're looking for. All right, now into there, we need to add our first form of chocolate, and for that, we are using cocoa powder. So I need a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, just whatever you got hanging around the pantry. Pop that in, not hot chocolate powder, that already has sugar in it, just plain cocoa. Add in that 1/4 cup there. And then we're going in with 300 grams of chopped chocolate. Now that's 3 of those chocolate bars. You know the ones that you get and you pretend it's dark chocolate, so you pretend you're being healthy? This time of year, I'm like, no, it's all about milk chocolate, maybe semi-sweet, but use up those dark chocolate bars in here. So 300 grams is going in. I've chopped them up a little just to give the robot a little hand, just because I'm a friend to robots. But I'm gonna give this a little bit of a blitz just to combine and more finely chop that chocolate. It's also nice to make a little racket. You know in the holidays when things are going crazy and you just need to go into the kitchen and think? Honestly, feels very, very nice. All right, not just me, okay? No, yeah. All right, that looks amazing. There's still some hunks of chocolate in there, but we're gonna basically melt that down with the next ingredient. So for that, I've got 1 cup of hot coffee. This sounds kind of strange, but this is gonna just melt the sugar and the chocolate together and give you a beautiful texture. So I'm gonna blitz that in. You can just get that straight out of your coffee maker if you've got some left over. Blitz that in. And things start getting a little sloppy. That is perfect. All right, now into there, we're gonna go in with the rest of our main ingredients. So the first thing I need is about 1 cup of room temperature butter. I've just cut this into pats to make it a little bit easier to get in. So just add that right on in. I'm using room temperature. You could technically use cold butter, just cut it smaller. You'll just have to process it a bit longer. It'll all come together. There's no flour in here, so you're not worried about building up any gluten. Now into there as well, we need to add in 6 egg yolks. Since this is a flourless chocolate cake, the eggs are gonna be what kind of bind this together and make this into a cake. We're gonna use the egg whites later, so it's not one of those recipes where I'm telling you to use 6 egg yolks and now you have 6 egg whites to decide what to do with. Or pretend you're gonna make meringue, but you're never making meringue. We're gonna use them, don't worry. Now into there, I also wanna add in some flavor. So the first thing I'm gonna go in with is a little bit of vanilla extract, just about 2 teaspoons. Vanilla is one of those things that makes chocolate taste more like chocolate, which I absolutely love. It's kind of like a background singer that like kind of is stealing the show and runs the show. Makes everything taste a little better. Now, I don't know about you, but you know those chocolate orange things that you get? I don't think that was a brand, but you know what I'm talking about. I love chocolate and orange together this time of year, so I'm also going in with the zest of an orange. So just zest that right over top. Now, anytime I am zesting really any sort of citrus fruit, I like to do it over the bowl that it's going into. I don't like to do it on a cutting board first and then transfer it over, because if we had like microscopic cameras right now, you would see there's a bunch of oil kind of flinging out of this orange as I zest it. You can smell it in the air, but basically I don't want to leave all that beautiful oil and flavor on my cutting board. I want to get it right into this cake to give it like max orange flavor, make it as beautiful and delicious as possible. All right, set that orange aside. And then the final ingredient, salt. You cannot forget salt. That's what you need. Anytime you're making something sweet or with chocolate, that little hit of salt just gives you the most delicious flavor, just brightens everything up. So about 2 teaspoons of salt go in, which sounds like a good amount, but this makes a big cake. And again, salted chocolate, oh, what a delight. Now I'm gonna puree that up just until that butter is nice and combined. Let's see, we're almost there. Since that coffee's still a little bit warm once you mix it, everything comes together beautifully. This looks absolutely delicious. So now what I wanna do is I'm gonna transfer this chocolate mixture into a large bowl. This is the time where, yes, we could have done this. We are dirtying a bowl, but that's okay. It's gonna be worth it in the end. So just transfer that beautiful chocolate mixture right on in. You can take it a little bit smoother if you're feeling it at home, but everything will melt out, come out in the wash. It's gonna be beautiful. Now into here, if I were to put this into the oven right now, you would end up with a very, very, very dense flourless chocolate cake. It would be more like baked fudge or kind of sort of like a brownie, but I wanna lighten this up. So right here I've got those 6 egg whites that I've whipped into just about like a stiff peak. Basically you want them to look like a cloud. That's what we're going for. Now, to bring these two things together, you need to do something called folding. If you ever watched Schitt's Creek, you know about folding. You didn't learn what folding is. Fun fact about that recipe, you didn't need to fold in the cheese. That's not true. But for this one, you do need to fold. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add about 1/3 of these egg whites in. Folding is basically a technique that takes something really light and you're trying to fold it into something really heavy. So obviously this chocolate mixture is dense. There's butter, there's chocolate, there's sugar. But you want to lighten this up because that's gonna give you lift and kind of a souffle in this cake. So what you're gonna do with this first edition is just mix it in kind of vigorously. You don't have to be too precious about it. You just wanna lighten things up a little. Looks like a bunch of clouds, but it's looking beautiful. That's just gonna lighten things up. It starts to get lighter in color. But now I'm gonna go in with about another kind of 1/3 or a half of what's left. Pop that on in. And this is where you're gonna get a little more delicate with your folding. So what you wanna do is you wanna get your spatula, cut down the center, and then turn your bowl, scrape along the side, and fold it over. So basically you're folding the heavier mixture on top of those egg whites. Now these egg whites are nice and stiff, so they're a little bit foamy. They're gonna come together beautifully, but as you see, it starts to lighten up. You don't have to be as precious and careful as you think you might be. It's still gonna come together into a beautiful cake. All right, let's get the rest of those egg whites in there. Whoops, making a mess already. Always a good thing. At 10 in the morning, making a chocolate cake. All right. Give that a fold, get the rest of those egg whites in. I would be doing this a little more gently at home, but we're gonna do it nice and quick. Again, those egg whites will souffle up. Even if they do start to burst a little, it's still gonna be beautiful. All right, that's looking great to me. Now I have got a springform pan right here that I have greased with a little bit of nonstick cooking spray, and then I dusted it with about a tablespoon of cocoa powder. That's gonna make sure this cake comes out, because the worst thing is when you're baking and then unintentionally you can't get that cake out of that pan. It turns into a pudding. So make sure you do that. I'm gonna pour all that beautiful batter right on into that springform pan. All that chocolate is gonna melt together. It's gonna be so delicious. Then I wanna pop this into a 350-degree oven for about 40 to 50 minutes. It's gonna souffle up, it's gonna puff up beautifully, and then it's gonna fall. You wanna bake it until the top is nice and kind of craggly and cracked and dull looking. It's gonna be nice and tall. You're gonna be like, oh my gosh, this is the most beautiful cake in the world. You take it out of the oven, it's gonna start falling. But that's okay. That's gonna leave room for toppings. So real quick before we go to break, I'm gonna show you one of my favorite things. This is that mulled wine berry. So we've all had macerated berries on like angel food cake or stuff, but all you need to do to make these is mix together about 4 cups of whatever berries you've got. I'm going with red berries, so I've got some strawberries, some raspberries, and even though they're not berries, I'm counting them as a red fruit. We're going in with a little bit of pomegranate as well. You could even do some currants if you could find them. That would be beautiful. Now into there, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of orange zest, a little bit of orange juice. I'll pop that in over the break. But this is where the mulled wine situation starts coming in. What you wanna do is add in some mulled wine spices. So you wanna go in with a little bit of nutmeg. No pocket today, sorry everybody. This dress is a pocketless dress, unless I was gonna tuck it in my pantyhose and I wasn't gonna do that. So we're gonna go in with about 1/8 of a teaspoon of some nutmeg. That's gonna give beautiful holiday flavor. 1/8 of a teaspoon of some cardamom. Cardamom's really nice, it's super tasty. Now also 1/8 of a teaspoon of cloves, which are so punchy and strong, so 1/8 of a teaspoon goes a long way. And then finally, about 1/4 of a teaspoon of some cinnamon in there for that classic holiday spice. Beautiful, beautiful. Now we get into the mulled wine territory. We're talking booze. I'm going in with about 1/3 of a cup of red wine. Whatever red wine you have open, feel free. Toss that in. That's about let's do a little more. We're gonna figure it out. Okay, about 1/3 of a cup of that. And then I like a little bit of orange liqueur. You could also do brandy, but just about a tablespoon. The only thing that's hard about these is it's sugary, so it's hard to open. Little bit of that in. And speaking of sugar, Just a few tablespoons of sugar is gonna sweeten this up beautifully. It's gonna help macerate and break down that fruit. Set this aside for, I'd say about a half an hour, just until it's nice and juicy. And you're gonna end up with basically mulled wine, but on a chocolate cake. Does that not look like the most delicious, dense chocolate cake? This is the thing, you will get a crack. It will fall. As it bakes in the oven, it reaches basically the top of this pan, but then you take it out and it just falls in. It leaves you with the most beautiful kind of well to fill with deliciousness. So to get it out of this pan, you basically just wanna like unhinge that beautiful springform pan. Do you see how, I know he looks kind of slumpy and sad. He looks like Frosty's hat. But honestly, I also do not even bother trying to get it off of the springform pan base. I just pop it onto a plate and you are good to go. Now on top of there, ours is still just a little bit warm, which is an absolute treat. But if you let it cool, you can pile all the toppings on top. I'm not gonna let it cool though, because I simply can't wait. Now in this mixer here, I have got a combination of a cup of mascarpone cheese with a cup of whipping cream that I've just whipped up. Now if you don't wanna shell out for that mascarpone, you can easily do this with a little bit of cream cheese. That would be beautiful. Just use the brick style. It holds up a bit better. Then I've also got just a few tablespoons of icing sugar in there. Not a ton, because there's a good amount of sugar in that cake, and a little vanilla. Now you could add in a bit of nice kind of orange liqueur in there as well to kind of bring everything together. And speaking of that, we've got this beautiful mulled wine fruit that looks so good and juicy. Okay, now to serve, again, you could do a big pile of the cream, the fruit on top, or you could just cut a nice little slice. Oh, it is dense. Oh, it is decadent. It is such a stunner. I'm just gonna do an extra one just in case I want 2 pieces. Okay. All you need to do is wiggle that little lifter underneath, lift that up, and you have the most delicious, dense chocolate cake you have ever seen. So beautiful, such an absolute delight. We're gonna get that baby out of there. And then what you wanna do on top of here is just spoon over that amazing cream. With that little bit of mascarpone or cream cheese in there, it gives a little bit of tartness. What a treat. And then that amazing fruit right over top. As this sits, the juice kind of thickens and gets more delish, but like, come on, get out of here. You bring that to your next holiday dinner, you're never leaving, let me tell you that. All right, I'm gonna give that a taste because I simply cannot resist the cake, the cream, the berry. Let's do it. Oh my gosh. It just tastes like fudge. That is amazing. I am obsessed with this cake. Oh, not sure who that is, but I'm pretty sure they need some cake. Come on in.
You know this, but anytime the word cake is said in this building, I magically appear.
She's running.
I magically appear. Hi, everybody. How you guys doing?
Andrea Bain from The Social. Now, typically, you used to be my neighbor, and I'm not gonna lie, we always, anytime we've got food around at the good stuff, this lady comes a knocking. She comes a knocking.
She's not lying, that is fact. I'm always circling, I'm like, what do I smell? Because it always smells so good in your section.
Are you digging this?
This is absolutely delicious.
Thank you.
It tastes incredible.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I mean, you did come by for cake, but is there something else?
Listen, I also came to spread a little holiday cheer. Are you guys ready?
Oh, we know what that means.
You know it's time for a very, very giveaway! Don't worry. All right, everybody, hold on to your hats, because I brought you some gifts that are gonna jingle your bells. Yes. You guys ready? All right, well, let's start with our first one. Thanks to SkinCeuticals, you're all going home with, dun-da-da-da, their HA Intensifier. Now, this is the #1 medical aesthetic skincare brand worldwide. Yes. This is a multi-purpose hyaluronic acid serum with aging skin proven to improve the appearance of facial plumpness,
I love plump,
firmness, and smoothness.
Oh, you gotta be smooth.
My 3 favorite things.
I gotta be plump, firm, and smooth.
Listen, those are the 3 favorite words going into the holidays.
Yeah.
Plump, firm, and smooth.
We have got it, Andrea. I absolutely love it, but that's not all.
No, you know that person on your list, you're like, what am I gonna get this person? They have everything. I got you covered.
Yes, you do.
Because thanks to the great Canadian sock company, you're all going home with the best of JB Field's Path. Now, this is a family-owned business made in Canada for over 145 years.
Wow.
I know, that's incredible.
That's a long bit. That's a lot of socks.
Yes, and they're very, very conscious because it's made with ethically and environmentally sourced fibers. Enjoy them with a 1-year, no-risk guarantee, folks.
That's amazing.
So for that person who's always running through the socks and getting holes in them, don't worry, you're covered.
That's
You're
my
good
husband.
this year.
I was like, man, are you walking just on your heels? I
Oh,
don't
it goes to
understand.
the heels. For me, it's the big toe.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think I need to clip those nails a little shorter. Just saying.
I love it. All right, and that is not all. What do we got going on
Listen,
here?
who doesn't love some salon quality hair? I know I do. Don't worry, because I got you covered, because thanks to Schwarzkopf, you're all going home with, Mary,
Da 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 da.
their BC Bodycare Christmas Color Freeze Trio, plus their session labels, the flexible dry, light hold hairspray. Incredible. Now, in this trio, you're getting a color-free shampoo, conditioner, and treatment, and they're made with the power of vegan keratin in professional clean formula. That's
Vegan
right,
keratin?
The good stuff, folks.
Oh, yes, yes,
And the
yes.
session label hairspray has a light, dry hold, instantly drying and easy to brush out, which is so important, because we know the stuff that, you can't
thing, and then
get stuck. We don't want that.
No, we're
not doing that.
Andrea's not doing it. We got this hairspray.
You know what? I'm even gonna
We do it. We do it. Yeah, let's do it.
As we go.
Yes, yes.
As we, my
Oh,
salon quality.
Andrea Bain. Dave is like, get the camera away. Oh my gosh, and if you at home would like a chance to win these great prizes, just head over to our Instagram and Facebook pages at The Good Stuff CTV and enter our online contest. Good luck. Now, Andrea, you want to go eat some more cake?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of The Good Stuff.